Hello, fellow pen lovers and stationery enthusiasts. It's Christy here, Snarky Wordsworth over on Instagram and Reddit. And today we are going to set up my brand new passport-sized traveler's notebook. Now, I have been a passport-size fan for years now. I do have a regular size one, but I just never ever reach for it, at least nowhere near as much as I reach for my passport sized. My everyday carry is a passport in the brown color. I have a camel colored one that I keep my ink journals in. And now I finally had an excuse to pick up a new one, and I'll get to that in just a moment. So let's go ahead and unwrap this guy. I just snipped off the edge so that I could reach in easily and get it. So that's really the only thing that I've seen about this new one. So I'll be seeing it for the first time as well. And there you can see the color I chose. I really like the blues that I see online and in everybody else's videos, but I've never actually seen one in person before. So this is really cool. I'm excited to see if I got like one of the darker blues or the lighter blues, but anyway. I do love the dark blue elastic. I don't know if that's picking up real well. You can see. And it comes with the mustard colored elastic as well as the blue. And then here's the little information sheet. And here is the new notebook. Ooh, okay, so I have ended up with one of the really deep navy ones, which I absolutely love. I'm super excited about this. I did, by the by, order this from Endless Pens. I really like her store, and I love the different items that she has available on there. As usual, this is not sponsored. I'm just a fan of the shop. Thus, I am recommending it. But yeah, I hope that the lighting is picking this up. So this is one of the really, really deep blues that they offer, and you never really do know if you're going to get one that's kind of lighter or not. And, you know, I just happened to get the shade of navy that I like. And of course, as usual, it comes with the blank insert, which I love for commonplacing. I actually prefer the blank so that I can kind of go to town with collaging, and it's small enough so that my writing doesn't look all crazily tilted all the time, so that's not a drawback. I am going to take this insert out because we are going to set this one up with my Commonplace book. But before I get to that, the elastic is really, really this beautiful, vibrant blue, and I hope it is picking up. It's just bright enough so that it does show up against the navy, so I do love that, and I didn't realize that that was going to be a thing. So excited for that. But anyway, why did I need this new passport-sized traveler's notebook? I mean, again, I already have a couple others. There generally has not been a reason for me to pick up a third one, but I seem to be moving in a slightly different direction with my Commonplace books. So for a long time, I was pretty minimal about commonplacing. I wrote down, you know, quotes from books that I was reading, lyrics that were really resonating with me at the moment, but I had pretty minimal collaging in there. I didn't really add a whole lot of decoration. I was really pretty happy with just black ink on a white colored page, and that made me very pleased. I liked the cleanliness of each spread, but in recent months I just seem to be kind of getting really invested in the whole concept of aesthetic commonplacing. And so I ended up taking an old journal that I kind of had just turned into a scrap insert. It had some like random food tracking in it. It had entries to different things that I'd gone to see or do that were not really, super relevant, but that I didn't necessarily want to get rid of. And I just kind of decided to turn it into my current Commonplace book. And, I had to cover some things, but I also had to figure out ways to keep entries. And anyway, I just sort of made it work, and I really liked it. I really liked having to do more decor and add all of the little extra touches. And as I continued to do that through the rest of the book, even once I got to blank pages, I found that this Commonplace book was taking up much more real estate in my everyday carry than it ever had before. And it was just getting kind of cumbersome to carry this with my collections and my really minimal like daily journal. So that's why I figured, why not have another passport just dedicated to this when I know that I'm going to want to work on it, or, if I'm out of the house or something, I can just pop this also in my bag, and it doesn't take up that much extra room, but it's also not something I have with me constantly either, because I don't honestly work on my commonplacing every single day. It's just when I feel like it. So I felt like this was the perfect time. And so now I have my navy. So how do I want to set this up? So, of course, I've got my Commonplace book. That's the most important part. I also like carrying a pencil board with me when I'm working on this so that I can tear cleaner edges. And I do think that the Traveler's Company pencil boards work really well for that. And they're obviously the perfect size too. So I want to go ahead and include this. And then I'm going to wrap these two pieces in just an old Traveler's Company craft folder that I've had for years and years. I don't know if you can tell, but it's getting really well worn. It's not tearing at all. It's still in really excellent condition, but it definitely has a bit of its own paper patina going on. Plus it has I love this sticker so much of Hermione and Crookshanks. This sticker's been with me for ever. I think I put this on the folder like the first couple of days I had it. So it's literally been here with me for years. So I'm going to go ahead. Together. And then I also have this little zip pouch that is perfect for ephemera and whatnot, all the little extra bits. That I got from Moterm a couple years ago, and it's really held up very well. It's clearly a dupe for the Rudolph official Traveler's Notebook version, but this one's worked very nicely. It's been very serviceable, and it does take a beating. So I like that it's also a shade of blue and can kind of work with me here. And I think for the moment, that's everything I'm going to want to put inside this notebook. So, okay, that's the center. And I'm almost finished doing spreads. I do actually like to do spreads before I fill it out. I kind of have an idea in mind for what might go on the pages, and then I sort of collage accordingly. And so that's the next blank spread that I've got. I'll put the bookmark there. Oh, there's just something so comforting about a newly set up Traveler's Notebook. It's just, there's something so full of promise and that's just sort of bleeding excitement when it comes to something like this, at least for me anyway. And you can see just the one book, it's pretty chunky all by itself, so I'm glad to have given it its very own home. There's not too much overhang. I love the way that it looks. I just love this color too. Seriously, this is beautiful. I think it's going to wear so well. But yeah, so that is my completed setup for my brand new navy traveler's notebook in passport size. If you have any questions, please feel free to let those fly. If this has been at all interesting, entertaining, useful to you, please do consider hitting that like button. It really helps out the channel. If you are so inclined, please also consider subscribing. I love meeting new people, and it's always fun to get to talk to people who like the same things and have similar interests, just because I don't have a huge planner community where I am. So getting to nerd out with other human beings is always wonderful. And with that, I'm going to go ahead and sign off. As always, thank you so much for joining me, and hopefully I will see you next time. Bye-bye.